The suspect in the deadly attacks on Minnesota lawmakers has been identified, and the reporting is getting weird. Firstly, the reported suspect has been identified as 57-year-old white male Vance Bolter. He reportedly ran for local office in Minnesota as a third-party candidate with anti-government views. So how did he get a vehicle with emergency lights and an outfit to look like a cop? Well, Vance is listed as the director of security patrols for the company Praetorian Guard Security Services, which according to a website says,
Dr. Vance Bolter has been involved with security situations in Eastern Europe, Africa, North America, and the Middle East, including the West Bank, Southern Lebanon, and Gaza Strip.
And KARE 11 News seemed to have a conflicting report of Vance being a security personnel with reported experience in Southern Lebanon and Gaza.
Well, that doesn't seem to match exactly what we're seeing on some of the government forums where he's been a volunteer serving on a state board. In those cases, it always listed him as working at, as being like the general manager of a gas station.
But before we go further with that, a lot of people have been asking the question, how did the Brooklyn Park Police let this guy escape if they exchanged fire with him while he was on the front doorstep of Melissa Hortman's house? Well, here's where KARE 11's Julie Nelson begins to stray away from evidence and starts inserting plausible reality.
Her home as well, and it looks like there's just a big park and a lot of open area behind it. And of course, it's the cover of night, and it had to be incredibly confusing.
This is interesting reporting because Julie is creating a plausible reality in which the cops probably had a tough time finding Vance because there was a field nearby, and fields become confusing. Back to the actual subject of the report and not inserting story without evidence. About that list of people found in the car, it turns out
Hortman and Hoffman weren't even at the top of the list.
No, they were names on a list that involved Democratic politicians and abortion rights individuals.
On the list were Democratic politicians and abortion rights individuals. That's what we know. And on the other end of this call with Julie Nelson is AJ Legault, who is just at a computer reading off information about Vance Bolter, like,
that he had been to countries where people don't have the ability to vote for who their leaders are, and that they're not places anyone would want to live. And it says, so I'm very big on just telling people to be a part of the process and vote your values. And be part of this adventure. We are all part of living in the United States of America.
That's what AJ found on Vance Bolter posting. Vance Bolter, the suspect in the assassination of Representative Melissa Hortman and shooting of Senator John Hoffman. But then, for some reason, Julie Nelson asserts,
was he considered a Democrat, or we don't know, because they can often have people from different parties on these boards.
Again, Julie is talking with a man on a laptop with all the information he can find in front of him. I understand Julie is trying to find the political party this man is associated with, but if ran for office as a third party, credited to have been security in Lebanon and Gaza, and had a hit list of Democrats and abortion rights people, doesn't paint the picture enough. With all that said, Vance Bolter, at large, Brooklyn Park Police couldn't catch him in the field, websites say conflicting stories on Bolter, and there was a list of Democrats and abortion rights people in the car. This story is developing, and you can find more reports at onsitepublicmedia.substack.com.